Servant leadership. Ken Blanchard and Renee Broadwell compiled essays from over 40 influential leaders, thinkers, and practitioners who explored what servant leadership means and how it works in real life. The central idea is that leadership is not about power and control, but about serving others, empowering people, and creating a culture of trust and growth. Servant leadership is putting the needs of others first. True leaders serve their teams by developing people, building trust, and modeling humility. What is servant leadership to you? Servant leadership is leadership first. It is serving others first that makes you a servant leader. Leadership is a calling, not a position of privilege. Leadership is about serving, not being served. True leaders flip the pyramid and put others first instead of putting themselves first. If serving is below you, then leadership is above you. These are some of the characteristics of servant leaders. They are listeners and they are empathetic. They are healers of hurting followers. They lead from persuasion rather than from command. They are good stewards and open to accountability. They are committed to the vision. They are builders of community. Servant leaders are conscious leaders. Trust is the currency of servant leadership. Without it, influence collapses. Somebody came with an acronym of the word SERVE: seeing the future, engaging others, reinventing consciously, valuing results, embodying results. Servanthood is not weakness. It is strength through humility and service. Servant leaders create a great place to work for all. When leaders prioritize people, employees feel safe, respected, and motivated to work in that very place. The leader as a shepherd. Leaders must guide, protect, and nurture their people just as shepherds care for their flock. Leadership is about creating environments where people feel safe to thrive. Servant leaders empower others by giving responsibility and recognizing contribution. One question every servant leader should ask: how can I help? This mindset shifts power to service rather than how can you help me? Servant leaders dare to rehumanize workplaces through vulnerability and empathy. Servant leaders celebrate others by recognizing their contribution, and this fuels people. It helps them to celebrate big and small wins. The heart of service is seeing others as people, not tools for your own agenda. What you see determines how you serve. Vision shapes service. When you see potential in people, you naturally serve them better. Compassion transforms relationships and inspires loyalty. How to spot ideal team players in servant leadership. Look for humility, look for hunger and people skill. Leaders should define themselves by how they serve, not by the titles they own. There are four corners of a leader's universe: relationships, tasks, personal growth, and culture. The leader must master these four corners of their universe. Best practices for servant leaders: empower instead of micromanaging. Humility and vulnerability. Leaders don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes it's human to tell people, this I don't know, can you lead us in this way? Creating safe places for risk-taking. Develop more leaders than followers. Leadership flows from values, not imitation. Humble acts of service. The paddle is not the problem, says one saying. Focus on fixing causes, not symptoms, when leading people, and that could be a wise way to do. In military leadership shows that servant leadership thrives on trust, discipline, and teamwork. Companies that practice servant leadership have high employee engagement, lower turnover, and great customer loyalty. Leaders create organizations where people feel valued, trusted, and respected. Jesus modeled ultimate leadership by leading by love, humility, and sacrifice. Leadership is more than just words. It's about action more than just saying things. Live out your values. Public trust grows when leaders prioritize service over personal ambitions. Human resource managers and all people that are in a leadership should know that the most effective way of human resource is rooted in compassion and fairness. Success depends more on relationships rather than strategies. Churches grow when leaders focus on serving, not control. This is how servant leadership shapes our church culture. The future demands leaders who lead with character and not ego. Servant leadership builds sustainable organizations where people flourish and communities thrive. The next generation is looking for authentic, compassionate, and purpose-driven leaders. Will you be among them? We must turn the toxic companies into a servant-led success environment. Focus on coaching people for success rather than judging performance. True power lies in love, humility, in serving people, not in control or ego. Leadership is a journey of character, not just competence. Servant leadership, finally, is not a strategy. It is a way of life. The most effective leaders are those who serve first, lead second, building trust, empowering others, and leaving a lasting legacy. Thank you for listening. Patrick, Living Well Community. God bless you.